Hi everybody, I'm Carl and welcome to Knack 3D Designs. In today's installment we're going to build our chassis wiring harness. So let's get started. Alright, in this segment we're going to go ahead and start our wiring harness for our chassis. You're going to need 11 feet of your 34 pin ribbon cable, 11 feet of our 20 gauge 2 wire for our hot end. You're going to need your left and right stepper mounts. You're going to need some wire loom. You're going to need one 34 pin connector. You're going to need 10 T-nuts and 10 metric 5x8 screws, and of course a wrench. And you'll need your clamp to crimp your end on your ribbon cable. Now first what we're going to do is we're going to put the end on our ribbon cable here. We'll make sure we get it right. This is keyed. It's going to slide in the top like this, and we want to keep the ribbon cable down out of the way, so we're going to want to feed it up through the bottom of this, like so. I'm just going to give this a nice neat fold up. Now this will be able to slide in like so and be ejected back out. So I'm going to set this aside for the moment, get it out of our way. Now we're going to leave my little cheat sheet, and we can actually set this out of the way. This is here just for example, make sure we had that lined up right. So now what we need to do, and easiest way that I can say to do this is unravel it all. Now I'm just going to feed it in through the end hole and out the other side. I'm going to fold it like this. We just want it to come out about that far so we can unlatch it. I'm going to grab a piece of tape and I'm going to tape it in place. Now what we need to do is we need to start separating all these wires. Yellow and orange are our stop switch on the x-axis. Red and brown, hot end thermistor. Black and white go to the mosquito fan. Gray and purple go to the layer cooling fan. And those, along with this, is what will run all the way down to our hot end carriage. Peel these all apart from the rest of it here, all the way back to where we shoved it through the openings here, and then some, but for now we'll take it to there. Now our blue, green, yellow, and orange, those 4 wires are all going to run to our extruder stepper motor. Red, brown, black, and white goes to our X stepper. Our gray, purple, blue, and green are our Z stepper. Our yellow and orange are for our CPU cooling fan. Our red and brown will go to our heat bed thermistor. Our black, white, gray, and purple go to our panel due display. Our blue and green go to our Y-axis stop switch, and then the last 4 go to our Y-axis stepper. Okay, so now we've got most of those stripped down to a reasonable length. Pull all of it back through here. Go to the top. We want this to be nice and smooth ribbon cable, about this far. We're going to have to take and put a few bends in it this way, that way, whatever, to go around the fan on the power supply. We'll do that later. That's why I took it all the way to here. I'm going to do a little bend like this, and then a bend like this, and then take it on into the extrusion. What we want to do right now is we want to pull off what's going to go to this side of the chassis, and that's going to be our stepper for the y-axis. Go back just a little bit further here, and our y-axis stop switch. And our 4 wires for our panel do. Now all these wires are going to run down like this, and through the opening we made here, come down to the end here. Long wire ties just to help us for measurement purposes. Wire tie this down here. Help hold it in place. Now our stop switch is going to come out of here and up to here, and it's only going to be an inch or two, but just to keep it out of our way and make our wiring a little easier to work with. We're going to run down through here, down the tube, come out this hole, go an inch or two here, so just an extra. That's strap from that. Our stepper is going to do the same thing. It's going to run out, come out that hole, come right up here to the stepper motor, so we'll give it like 4 more inches. We'll trim it to fit later. Get that out of there. Our panel do is going to come out. It's going to run all the way here into the center and plug into our display. So I'm just going to take it all the way over here so I've got extra. And that takes care of all the wiring. It's going to run down this side of the display, of the extrusions. So we can take when we put this in some wire loom and feed it down through and pop it out right here. Now, to make it a little easier to feed the wire, I'm going to take this end cap off. And I screwed up somewhere along the lines, and I think I ordered the wrong size wire loom. This is not working. Alright, so now we need to wrap these wires that are coming up this side of the chassis with some wire loom to kind of help keep them set in this rail and to protect them as they make this turn. I'm just going to grab a piece about this long. Sure, it's going to be up here. Going in, that should pretty much cover it all. Now I've got this all put together, taped ready to slide in. Now I did go ahead and take the end cap off to make it easier to feed, but for some reason I just got lucky and it's feeding itself right out the hole. If it was meant to, whoops, well, almost all of it did. Now we will want to put some wire loom around this end to protect it, but I'm going to use smaller to individualize these different pieces. have to be nice and neat. Take care of one side there. Now we're going to go ahead and figure this all out. We will need to put the end cap back on. Now we'll need to go ahead and mount our bracket. And you can barely see any of this. Let me see if I can't get us a different camera angle here. Alright, so mount this. You're going to flush it up against the end cap. We're going to need to put in 4 T-nuts right here. And you can't see it, but there's 1 T-nut right back here at the back. I'm just going to put one of these in here for the moment. This way we can figure out how long we need to make our wires. This one's going to come out, connect right here. I'm going to have a little piece of the original wiring harness for the stepper. So I'm going to solder and splice onto this. I'll probably cut this right here. And then we've got our stop switch. I'm going to splice the other connector on it, and it is sitting right up underneath. Get the camera, show you guys here real quick. Here's our connector end. And this, of course, is going to come over across the front here like this. So we know this is fitted pretty good. We're going to go ahead and move ourselves over to the other side and run the wiring harness through there. Alright, so now continuing through our wiring harness, we've got these 4 wires here, which are our red and brown and our yellow and orange. Red and brown is going to connect to our thermistor for our heat bed. We know we can cut it somewhere around here. We have plenty of wire to work with. And our yellow and orange, that's going to run to our fans in the bottom of our circuit board assembly covers here. And it's going to get connected to a little connector right here to feed to it, so we can disconnect the cover if we need to, so we know we can run this wire right here, and yeah, we'll just go ahead and chop it off right here too. Next 4 wires here are our Z-axis stepper. Now these 4 wires, they're going to run over here and pop out right here for our stepper. And we can go ahead and cut this about right here. Now what's left is going down here to this end. So it feeds through. These are in bundles up nice. I'm going to peel this back just a little bit further. And wherever. Wow. I didn't peel any of these apart. It will feed easier down the wiring if you peel them all apart. Or down the extrusion, I mean. Alright, so now we've paired off all these wires. We're going to just wrap these up a little bit so we can feed them and run them down this extrusion. And they'll come out this hole right here. Can anybody tell me what I forgot to add to it? This wire. You need the wire for a hot end with that as well. See how hard that piece of tape was to clear that out? I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape as I get to it now. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my wire wrap on here. Through here. Now this end's protected. Let me back that off just a little bit more. Show you why. We run our ribbon cable straight down. Look, it goes right over the fan. Well, that's just not going to work for us. We need to take and put a couple folds in it. Come a couple inches out. Plug this in. And we can go ahead and feed that a little bit more. Oh, maybe not. Now we'll tape this up neat and we'll lock it up in the cover so it can't move, so all of our flex will be right here at the end. Yep, that right there is about where we're going to want it. Now we're going to move to trimming some of the wires off of this end. Alright, so now all the wires we fed out down to this end are red, brown, black, and white. That there are the wires to our X stepper. They're not going to go any further than here. They're going to loop right up into this stepper motor right here like this. So we can just go ahead and cut them off about 4 inches from the end here. It'll leave us plenty of room to do some splicing, whatever. We can remove the rest of that wire from the harness. Side, I usually just wrap it around this roller just to kind of help keep it out of the way. Now all this is going to get fed up into our extrusion going this way, so we'll need to go ahead and mount this bracket. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of wire wrap around this. I'm actually going to wrap this into here for a loop or two, just because I want to be sure it's protected. And now I got like 3 wraps on there. Make sure it's down in. About where the grooves all start. Where the opening is, I mean. I can separate this one out. I'm going to wrap that up in a smaller black later. That takes care of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my T-nuts in. As you can see, there's an opening right there. All these wires need to go through. Next thing we need to do is we need to put in a piece of extrusion here. I'm going to go ahead and feed all of our wiring down the extrusion. Nice snug fit. This is locked in place. Now I have all of our wires coming out of here. And we're going to strip off 4 more wires for our extruder, which is going to be our blue, green, yellow, and orange pair. These 4 wires are going to get pulled off right here. They're going to come up through the end cap, which is about this tall. Come out, so if we strip it off right here, we should have plenty left over because we are going to splice an end onto it. Again, I'm losing tools. They're hiding from me down here in the end. And the rest of this is going to get fed through the end and down to the hot end. Alright, so that wraps up today's episode. Now remember, if you like what I'm doing here, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for updates. If you'd like to help support the channel, there is the Printed Solid affiliate link, an Amazon wish list, and a PayPal me link all in the description below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.